Getting the ending right for a video game should be easy. It's effectively the crescendo to all of the storytelling set up until that point. And while some of us may agree or disagree on the best ways to end a story, a good ending takes everything into account and produces a result that's within believable means. Then there are the games which just don't know how to end, rendering hours and hours of storytelling into one big pile of meh. Let's take a look at 15 such titles here. Blair Witch. Protagonist Ellis suffers from PTSD and enters the haunted woods to locate a missing boy named Peter. As it turns out, he's been constantly seeing the face of a girl that he failed to save during the war, not to mention being haunted by his comrades that died by his negligence. He enters the infamous house from the first film and kind of has to avoid shining a flashlight on a creature who may or may not be the Blair Witch. Long story short, Ellis dies. Peter could be discovered safe depending on the player's actions or be killed. The only really important detail is that Bullet survives. That's it. Matrix: Path of Neo. Instead of segueing into the awful ending of Matrix Revelations, the Wachowski brothers somehow made things worse, or better depending on your outlook. They appear at the end, speaking directly to the player about how Neo's death doesn't make for a great video game ending, and instead choose to have all of the Agent Smiths combined together into a giant Mega Smith. We Are the Champions plays after Neo's victory. However you may slice it, this is still a strange ending. Nier Automata. Nier Automata has some pretty heavy messages about existence, the meaning of life, and how hate and love are intertwined. But getting there means going from one playthrough to another, each seemingly ending in a bizarre way. From 2B defeating Eve and killing 9S, to either 9S living and A2 sacrificing herself, or both 9S and A2 dying at the final fight. This then leads to a shoot 'em up with the friggin' credits, with other players helping out before events seemingly reset. And if you decide to help other players in their journey, all of your save data is then deleted. Drakengard 3. Unlike Nier Automata, Drakengard 3's endings are a lot more avant-garde. Long story short, it culminates in a rhythm battle against a giant Zero who's also part flower. Zero is then defeated, but also might be alive, and then Accord, the android who's been narrating everything, breaks the fourth wall and thanks the player. No Man's Sky. Though Hello Games has expanded on the plot of No Man's Sky in subsequent updates, the initial ending was weird. You reach the center of the galaxy and discover another interface for the Atlas. The current galaxy is a simulation, by the way. Restarting things will allow the Atlas to be saved and also starts you off in a new galaxy, but apparently this shortens the Atlas's life, and has happened already. Suffice to say, not the most rewarding conclusion to one's ceaseless and buggy exploration at launch. Gears 5. A lot happens in Gears 5, and we mean a lot. Reyna is back from the dead as Queen Reyna of the Swarm, assaulting New Ephra with a giant kraken. It's a mission to plant beacons for the Hammer of Dawn, leading to Reyna killing either JD Phoenix or Dell, with the player suddenly choosing who lives, and Jack sacrificing himself to destroy the kraken. Kate, seemingly overcoming her past, swears to find Reyna and presumably end the Swarm once and for all. And then the game ends. Alright, see you in 3 years then. Destiny. The heart of the Black Garden has been destroyed. What is it? Well, that's not important. You go back to the tower and listen to the speaker, well, speak. Then the mysterious stranger appears and gives you her gun. Who is she? Don't worry about it. All endings are beginnings, she says before disappearing. How, why, and what is happening? Darkness, Traveler, nothing is explained. The Witness. You could finish The Witness the traditional way, which is completing the mountain challenge and be rewarded with a rather low-key ending. You could also finish it in the weird way by solving a puzzle at the very beginning and unlock a live-action video of someone with what seems to be a dialysis machine just going about their day. In terms of most jarring transition from gameplay to live action, The Witness's secret ending is definitely up there. Inside. The theme of Inside is that of subliminal control. But if you were just playing the game regularly, trying to figure out what was going on, going from the surface to an underwater facility suddenly, the ginormous blob that wrecks shop at the end comes out of left field. Taking control of this blob, you exit the facility and enjoy the night? Die? It's not really clear. Control. There's a lot of supernatural, metaphysical, and straight up weird stuff happening in Control. Basically, protagonist Jesse Faden heads to the astral plane via a slide projector to rescue her brother and defeat the Hiss, after which her brother falls into a coma. What is the Hiss? Also, what was all of this? Maybe the teased Alan Wake crossover explanation will explain something. Anything. Mass Effect 3. 3 games worth of storytelling have come down to this. Shepard finally meets the Catalyst and learns the true nature of the Reapers. But wait, is this really the final confrontation? Regardless of the option chosen, controlling the Reapers, destroying them, or synthesizing all life, the only real conclusion seems to be Shepard's apparent death. Someone named the Stargazer speaks about the Shepard far off into the future for some reason. What about all the choices made? What happens to our favorite characters? How does the universe carry on? It felt like nothing really mattered in the end, which is the biggest shame, though BioWare did expand on the 3 choices significantly in the extended cut. MDK. After destroying the Mind Crawlers and taking on Gunter Glut, who planned to destroy the Earth, protagonist Kurt ends up saving Max. Glut is defeated and everyone goes on their merry way. We would have been fine if things just ended there. However, Billy Zakik's Non Rin Ah Change starts playing against the backdrop of live-action monochromatic footage of Kurt and the band. There's also lots of screaming faces. Yeah, we got nothing. Fallout 3. After battling the Enclave, it's finally up to the Lone Wanderer to activate the water purifier. This is it, the moment where all of your hard work pays off. Except the player needs to sacrifice themselves to input the code for the purifier because of all of the radiation. Oh, and better decide soon because the purifier will explode, killing everyone in the Jefferson Memorial. No sending a radiation-resistant companion either. It's either you or the unfortunate Sarah Lyons. The Broken Steel DLC amended this somewhat, but the original ending still feels contrived as heck. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Following Quiet's disappearance, it's revealed that Venom Snake isn't actually Big Boss, but the medic from Ground Zeroes. He was actually turned into Big Boss to serve as a decoy, who would subsequently become Venom Snake. This leads into Metal Gear 1, but there's a problem. What about Eli, Psycho Mantis, and Sahelanthropus? That was eventually revealed in Episode 51, a non-playable scene from the Collector's Edition that even that felt incomplete. Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge. So Guybrush and LeChuck are fighting and voodoo dolls get thrown in. Okay, you've still got us. Then suddenly the two are in a park as children who meet their parents. As the family leaves, the eyes of Chucky glow red with malicious intent. Meanwhile, Elaine is outside of the Big Whoop amusement park wondering if Guybrush is under a spell. Got all of that? And in case you hoped the next game would explain any of this, it simply starts with Guybrush floating at sea with no memory of what happened. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.